It is very, very, what do you call it? It's very, I don't want to say important.
It's imperative.
What happened to you?
That's what I'm saying, man. I got something right here, too. I don't know what's going on.
Ew.
I know.
You got a disease?
That's maybe.
Ah! Don't!
It's imperative. Hey everybody, today we want to talk about making your spouse a priority every day. We can get very comfortable living day to day and neglecting our spouse. What we want to do is give you a few tips how to make your spouse a priority every single day. First thing we have on the list here is anticipate each other's needs. For instance, in the morning, if you know that your wife or your husband is waking up early, trying to get things rolling, and they're not necessarily that much of an early person, then, get up and make them coffee if they like coffee. Breakfast, if they like breakfast. Get up and make them some, French toast, whatever.
You getting up at 3 in the morning?
No. Anything you can do to help them get along with their day, to help them make that day go smoother, that morning go smoother. It doesn't have to be in the morning. That's just an example. That'll make them feel like you love them. They're a priority in your life. Fellas, it's cold outside. Your wife has to leave in the morning. Go outside, crank the car up for them. Let it get warm. That's one less thing they have to do. They'll feel that appreciation. They'll feel that love from you. You're making them a priority. You're thinking about them, not just yourself or the kids. You're thinking about your spouse, your wife. Fellas, any task you can do to help your spouse's day go smoother, they're gonna feel that. They're gonna know that you're thinking about them and you care about them.
If your spouse has to work later than you and you get home first, make sure the house is clean. Pick up some stuff. Don't you like to walk into a clean house? Do the same for your spouse.
Yeah. On Sunday mornings, it's rough trying to get all the kids ready, trying to get ourselves ready at the same time. It can be a disaster if we don't help each other out. So I'll get up. Kid likes to stay in the bed a little longer. I'll make her coffee. I'll make the kids breakfast 90% of the time because I know she wants to get them dressed. She wants to make sure their hair is good. We got all girls except for Kaden. She wants to make sure her girls are looking good. So I try to take care of everything else because she has to do that. And then she has to do herself. Just thinking about her and everything that she has on her plate. Man, in the mornings, Sunday mornings, I gotta wash myself, put my clothes on, and I'm good. I'm usually cleaning the house Sunday morning because we may have went to bed late Saturday, just hanging out, having fun. But I'm thinking about how can I make her life easier? How can I make her feel, important, wanted, needed, special? Alright, second thing we want to talk about is being available for your spouse. You want them to feel like they are important. You want them to feel like you cherish them. Be available when they need you, whether it's just having conversation. They want to talk to you about their day, something they saw online, anything, the smallest little mundane thing. Just be available to hear that person out.
Even if you don't want to be available, it's good to, be selfless and be there for your spouse. Today, I was thinking about this coming week and trying to get myself ready. And Jesse had something he had to do. We had folks coming over to take pictures, and I was just thinking about myself, and I seen him come up here a couple of times, and the look on his face was just anxiety. And though I didn't want to, I asked, is there anything I can do to make things easier for you? And he said, just come down and support me. Just come and support me. Just be there. So I dropped everything and I went downstairs, and you could just see his stress level come all the way down.
That was a tremendous help for me. I was eased out. She ended up, I needed a second hand, to be honest. It wasn't just, I wanted her to just be there, but I needed a second hand in the thick of it. I did. I felt loved when she came down. It was crazy when she came down. I could sense a little bit of, I don't want to do this. But then when she came down, all that started to go away in her too. She didn't have because we were together. We were together and we were having a good time, with one another. So it doesn't just affect your spouse. It doesn't just affect your spouse positively, but it can affect you positively as well. Another way to make sure you're making yourself available for your spouse is intimacy. You want to be there. You want to be available to have intimate time together with your spouse as often as possible. That keeps a marriage strong. That keeps a marriage strong, strong, strong. You don't want to leave any room for someone else to come in to fill a gap in your marriage.
Who else does your spouse have to look at? Who else does your spouse have to touch or caress or feel? Who else is going to show your spouse that attention if you don't leave a void there for your spouse to go looking elsewhere.
Amen. Back to the men, when we're talking about being available and not shutting down when you get home, different tasks around the house, man. I know you may have been at work all day and you might be tired when you come home, but I mean, there's 1,000 things you can do to help your spouse, to lighten the load for your spouse. Maybe you can cook sometimes. I know a lot of men don't cook. I know there's some men that do cook, but I know a lot of men don't cook. Even if you just pick up food on the way home. Honey, don't cook. I'm gonna bring food home. Kick back. I'll be there in 10 minutes. That's making your spouse's time a priority. You're making them a priority, because you can spend that time with her that she didn't have to cook. You could spend that time with her, with your wife. I hope you want to. Third thing we want to talk about is privacy. You need to have privacy in your marriage. Husband and wife, you need to have privacy. That's a way to make your spouse feel important, right? So one tactic is your kids should sleep in their bed. You bought them a bed, you bought a house, or you're renting a place where they have their own room. At night, they should sleep in their bed, because when they don't, they're coming in between your union. Just on a night basis. Don't go too crazy on me. But on a night by night, we're talking about every day, on an everyday basis. Sometimes it's cool to say, hey, come sleep with us. That's okay sometimes. We do it periodically, but we're talking about an everyday basis here. So you leave that nighttime for you and your spouse. Even if that means you have to put a chain on the door, lock it down, put nails and boards on the inside of the door so they can't bust the door down. Make it happen so you can have your privacy, your quiet time. Well, it might not be so quiet. I'm gonna let Kia tackle number 4. She's an expert.
I wouldn't go there.
She's an expert here. She's an expert.
The fourth one is knowing your spouse's love language. I believe that is very important. If you haven't read the 5 love languages, if you haven't taken the quiz, you really should do that. It keeps your bond strong.
Yes.
It will change your marriage.
Yes.
You have to know those 5 love languages. And the way to make your spouse feel like a priority is to know that about them. If your husband's love language is physical touch and the wife's love language is receiving gifts, and you're constantly trying to shower your spouse with gifts, that's not their love language. That's not important to them. You cannot express your love for your spouse by doing what you enjoy.
Yeah. What's my love language?
Physical touch. I really did give our love language.
And you like gifts.
And when I come home and there's something on that bed for me, I am so happy.
Something sexy.
Jesse. Mine is gifts, but it can be the smallest thing. You buy my favorite chips. You
Candy.
get my favorite candy.
Sour candy. She loves sour candy. What is?
Yeah, you buy my favorite coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the little things.
Thank y'all for taking the time to view this video. We hope that this is insightful. We hope that this is helpful. We hope that you will at least give something a shot. If it's just one thing, give something a shot. If you're going through your marriage and your spouse has indicated to you before that they don't feel like a priority, man, I mean, you could try them all, but just pick one. If you feel like it's an overwhelming list, it ain't. Just pick something out of there. Just do what you can to make your spouse feel important, like a priority in your life. Doesn't matter how they feel at work. Doesn't matter how they feel at church. Are you, when they come home, are they a priority? If you feel good about this video, hit the like button for us, subscribe for us.
Give us some feedback. Comment down below. Ask us some questions, please. We need some more topics. Don't make us do this alone.
Yeah, what do you guys want to know? What do you guys feel like is a topic you'd like for us to cover? And we hadn't been married for 40 years, but we got 10 strong years under our belt. We'd love to give it a shot, whatever you may have, whatever question you may have, whatever topic you may think is important to talk about. We're going to continue to talk about stuff that we feel is important to us, but we'll definitely love to hear what you guys have to say. And again, stay in there. Stick with it. Don't quit. Don't give up.
That's right. We're not perfect. Our first couple of years were a little rocky, but
Yes.
we've been working hard for 7 or 8 years.
Yes.
Trying to get this thing working, and it's finally working.
It's working. And we're going to give you that story too real soon. We're going to give you the deets real soon on our history and how we got to this point. Thanks again for all the kind words. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.